CM University. We are here with one of Coach D's former students, a tech professional in New York City who came to Coach D to really ignite his romantic experience and to elevate his dating experience and to find the quality relationships that he was looking for. In particular, Michael's a guy who was already successful in his relationships and had connections that were good connections over the years, but really wanted to find the right girl. And to do that, he had to become the right man. How you doing today, Michael? What's up?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm doing good, brother. Just serving the people, building the mission, and seeing a lot of green shoots with CMU. First question for you, my dude, is I want you to take us back and help us understand what was going on in your life before CMU, especially in your relationships, your confidence, and how you saw yourself as a man.
Sure. So I'll get started and a little bit background on me. So I am a tech professional living in New York City, and prior to what's going on was, I was more running through girls, and I couldn't find essentially the right girl that I really connected with, and that was really getting to me because eventually, once you go through enough girls, it just you don't want to become dead inside, but you still want to. I don't know. I guess maybe the romantic in me was still burning a lot. I still wanted to long term, have a family and someone that I could really grow with, and I feel like this is where, I really needed Coach C's help as far as guiding me to getting to that North Star. And that's what he really did as far as helping me find a girl that first, getting to know me, getting to know what I really wanted as far as when it came to that, and helping me find that really good girl that I eventually want to settle down with. And that's what he really helped me out with, and that's the way we approached it.
Yeah. So you're a guy who kind of had the social skills down. The SMV was there. You were running through women, which is what a lot of men are doing, and a lot of men find peace in that, joy in that, at a certain element in their life. And then after a while, some of them sometimes wake up and say, I don't know, I think I want something a little bit different. It happens to a lot, and it's not here to judge. People are in their power when they're owning their desires. Their desires are sacred. It's an important thing. We don't want to live with any regrets. End of the day, we're here ultimately to empower what our students want in a healthy and aligned way. That's going to allow them to be the best person they can be. So I feel like for you, similar to me, I can kind of relate. It's like finding the deeper relationships.
Mm-hmm.
It's where a lot of growth is in life, you know what I mean? The lifestyle of running through girls is quite chaotic, and it's disorganized. You're up late. It's hard to focus, you know what I mean? Like a guy whose brain is just surging with dopamine trying to get the next lay. I mean, I've been doing this a while, and anytime I really wanted to build anything, be it my career, my businesses, that required a level of focus. Right? And sometimes the player lifestyle can slow down a lot of building in life. So there's a lot to it. But anyway, it'd be good to hear from you in terms of what you thought was different about Coach D or CMU compared to maybe other things you tried, other things that you think are out there. Like, give us your perspective on what you think is unique here about Coach D and why you thought, no, this guy can really give me value.
Sure. With Coach D, I felt like he didn't judge me. And I felt like deep down, he really knew what I wanted and was able to feel. Because sometimes maybe I might have had a little difficult time articulating exactly what exactly I needed, but he was able to filter through all that and know exactly what I wanted. But one thing I really liked that he didn't judge me, or he didn't really try to, really, sometimes, as a coach, you gotta adjust your students' expectations. But he really didn't try to move the goalpost, and he was really focused on delivering what I wanted. And that's what I really liked about him. He didn't judge me, and he was really focused on, as far as me finding the right girl and making sure that she is the right girl, that I don't end up, like another divorce statistic or anything like that. Because, that's one of my biggest fears and everything. Yeah, that she is the right girl and that she'll work out long term. And we created a plan for that, and he's very methodical and detail oriented. And, he helped me get to that point. So that's what I really, really liked about
Let's tap into that a little bit more. That's pretty interesting. I think with the optionality and choice, when a guy starts to break through and gets to the point where they get in the lays in, they're able to attract women. Many of us who do the work fully, we get there, right? But then the quality question and the long-term question and the I guess the aspect of who do I want to really settle down with. That just brings up
Mm-hmm.
to kind of avenue where your thinking is a bit more, you think more deeply. When you're just getting your experiences under your belt and developing and whatever else, you don't fucking care about quality. Yeah, whatever. I'm on the journey. I'm just doing what I got to do, right? You're not really there. You're not thinking so deeply and emotionally. But when it's going one step forward and you're starting to think about, all right, well, I want to build something and I want it to be an actually satisfying, enriching relationship that actually elevates me in my life, then that does a lot for a guy in terms of how he has to change. I think some of us have to mature more. Some of us have to also start to think about empathy and relationship skills and how to like have that deeper connection with another human being and be vulnerable. And there's a whole skill set, you know what I mean? It'd be interesting to hear from you as you did start to transition yourself towards trying to find that girl to build something with. What were some of the changes that you had to make in yourself?
I had to make a good amount of changes. I think some of the first ones is to think more long term. So try to see, what behaviors I value versus what I don't really value. Also, I think the empathy part is pretty big because like when you're running through women, you're not really empathetic. You're like, all right, once you
Exactly.
do what you got to do, it's just like, all right, go home. But with this one, it's very different. So really had to develop on the empathy part. Also, like the player lifestyle, had to cut down from that a lot. So I think those are some of the key things that I really had to change within myself to become that person, to find someone that's long term and that will that'll be a good match.
So Michael, I mean, I'd be curious to get your thoughts if we can go maybe even one step deeper on the player lifestyle. So, of course, only share what you feel comfortable with and whatever is resonant and true with you at this moment. Because I think a lot of men, certainly the ones who are coming to CMU, plenty of these guys have got romantic experience and like some of them have just outgrown some of the ideas around pickup and red pill and game, and some of them are just trying to attract the type of woman at this stage and align with that. So there's deeper things they want to work through to get there. But of course, there's all sorts of people who come here, and some are at the start of the journey, and some of them are just stuck at a certain point. Now, with yourself, was there a particular moment when it came to the player lifestyle that led you to think, I think I need to cut down on this? Was it that, or was it perhaps you always were just looking for love and you just got a bit sick of the superficiality of the player life? Help me understand what that was like for you.
Yeah, I think it was more of the second thing. I just got burned out and tired of it. And of course, at the same time, I kind of always wanted something very long term and stable for long. Because, when you're younger, you can handle a lot of that. And I think one of the, like defining moments that I faced was that really when I was like, okay, this really needs to change. Where sometimes it's just like it's when you feel like a girl, like she's not a person anymore, it's just like another random body in your bed and with just another head on top of there, and you're like, all right, like I'm just sleeping next to these strangers and I'm not really building anything. And that's what I like to do. I like to I like to build things and stuff, and then eventually it just felt like, all right, it's a waste of my time and my energy, and I need to start focusing on what really matters to me and what really matters long term. So that's why I wanted to do that. It's just eventually it just like I just got tired. So
many of us, man. It's like when you go really, really hard at this shit, and you're out there approaching every day. I mean, I was out there every day for years. You're going on hundreds of dates. You're just doing all this. Part of it is, you have to get the skills down, and you have to develop your masculine essence, and you regulate your nervous system and become that grounded leader. And then part of that is also casual sex. A lot of it can be just a weird thing for the psyche. Like it's not many times in history a man's been able to wrap a condom on his dick and go out and slay and do all this sort of thing. It's just not something our species has really evolved for, unless you're Genghis Khan or some aristocrat. Like it's the modern male brain, and I guess like our conditioning isn't really geared up for this. It's like total sexual liberation is a relatively new thing in the world, and I think it also, it does weird things for people. I've seen over the years, I think it's done weird things to men. I think it's done weird things to women too, to be quite honest. All of us have had our fair share of ghosting and heartbreaks and all the rest. And I like how you kind of phrased it there. You just get sick of it. You just do. It's true. It's true. Humans are built for connection, and there's a lot that connection can do. But it's a journey, of course, and we embrace everyone at any point in their journey. So my final question for you, Michael, as we want to dip into the psyche and kind of take stock of where you are. What would you say to the version of yourself who was on the fence about working with Coach D and working with CMU?
Sure, I would just say go in and go for it because initially I thought, okay, Coach D maybe just. The thing what I liked about him is Coach D is multidimensional. He can walk you through every single phase where you're currently at. Let's say if you're struggling to get girls, you know, you can go through that stage. Or if you already got girls and you're looking to settle down with the right one, where I was at, he helped me get through that stage because there's different levels to life, and within those levels there's different problems that you encounter. And I think from an end-to-end perspective, Coach D has it mastered. And so that's what I would say to myself. It's, as you mentioned earlier, it's a journey. It doesn't stop. Even like once you're in the marriage and stuff, you know, that you're going to have a new set of problems over there. So it's always a journey. It never stops. And you must remain masculine. You must remain true. So.
What I like about what you shared there is you recognize that's what me and Dee are really building here. It's about really unlocking the man, unveiling the most confident man through the series of tools that we use, the methods and the mechanisms and the unparalleled knowledge that Coach D really has to get guys through all the levels. But really, at its core, it's about unlocking the person and letting them be who they are truly here in this world to be. Whatever that might look like, whatever their goal and the outcomes they're looking for, but operating fully in their own power with a regulated, healthy nervous system and the natural ability to attract romantic partners, attract people, friends, lead with intactness and a healthy psychology. And that really is what this is all about. And it would be pertinent for anyone at any point in their journey if they feel as if they are performing or have to put on an act or just haven't got access to their most magnetic presence, then CMU is really here to empower them to uncover what they really are and what they're in this world to seek. So that is the message. And for those of you who've watched this and resonate with it, and if you are here to get unstuck and finally step into your power, then you can contact me below and we can make something happen. But Michael, for today, we're going to thank you for your time. We appreciate you coming on here, giving your testimonial, and wish you, of course, all the success in your relationship journey moving forward.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.